to be halfway alive since I had you at one.
Good morning, Saguli. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for being here. Thanks for checking this out. This is my first attempt at a vlog slash like booktube video. So forgive the ums and the buts, and maybe I'm not looking in the right places. I'm still trying to get used to talking to a camera, I guess. So, yeah, but thanks for being here. We're going to go check out a bookish tavern today. It's been something I've driven by so many times and just have never gone in. And then I realized that they open in the morning for like coffee. And so I was like, oh, that's more of my vibe. I'm not really like a late night bar person. Sometimes like an afternoon beer. But you will not catch me out at after like 7 p.m. at a bar. That's just not me. Unless there's like a very particular event. I like to stay home and be cozy. I have 2 dogs. I have a husband. We chillin'. But anyway, we're going to go and check out this bookish tavern here in the city. So I'm really excited about that. Like I said, I haven't been, and I've been meaning to check it out. I've been following them on Instagram for a while, and I've been driving by, and I just never got around to it, blah, 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 blah. Every excuse in the book. But it's a day off, and they're open. So we're going to go there this morning. I probably won't film too much just because I'm still really awkward, but I'll try to, kind of just show around a little bit. And yeah, hopefully it's a fun time. Alrighty. Well, it's been 2 days since we went to the tavern, the bookstore, tavern, bar thing, place. It was super cute, super fun. All the drinks were great. Coffee looked cute, tasted good. Cocktails were so good, so special. Loved that. It was just such a cute little bar, coffee shop, bookstore. It was like, all the stuff all in one. It was great. They had blind dates with books. I picked one up. I recorded myself opening it. But I lost half of it. I don't really know what happened. I must have hit stop at some point by accident. So that didn't end up happening on camera, but that's fine. But the book I did get was Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. That was this was the blind date book that I picked up. The little write-up they had sounded really cute. Sounded like my vibe. I actually didn't know what this book was about, but I knew it was the new Emily Henry book. Like when I saw it around, I was like, oh, Emily Henry has a new book out. And then just proceeded to not look up what it was. But then when I was looking at all the books, the synopsis on this book sounded really cute and really fun. And so I'm really glad I got this one. I like Emily Henry, or at least I liked the other book I read by Emily Henry. I've been meaning to read more of her stuff because she does a lot of rom-coms. And I really liked, I listened to Funny Story on audiobook, I think last summer. And it was just a fun time. It felt like a great book to listen to as a summer read. So I'm looking forward to reading this one now that I've shown you that one. I thought I would just chat for a second about some of the books that I've finished and started this week. Since I'm kind of just doing this for a little glimpse of my week video, I guess. But yeah, so I guess I'll get into what else I've read this week and then we'll go from there. I listen to a podcast called Books Unbound. It's two Canadian gals. They're so funny. And just like great chatter. Like they just chat and it's great. They talk about books and their lives and it's just nice to like, I don't know, it's a cozy listen. I listen to them when I'm at work. I listen to some of their older stuff, or if they have a new episode, I do that. But I kind of jump around. They have like I think it's almost 300 episodes. So there's a lot to go through because I just recently found them. But one of the gals on there, which is so smart, she mentioned that she has a tag on Libby where basically all of the books on her physical TBR are like on that tag in Libby. And so whenever she's like looking for a new book to read, if she's looking for an audiobook or like wants to like read it on her like e-reader, she will just go and look on there and see what's available, and then she'll read a book off of her physical TBR, but she'll get it like through the library and like read it digitally, which I thought was like such a great idea because I already use Libby and I have so many books. So for me, a lot of the times it's easier for me to carry around my e-reader than it is to carry around a physical book, especially if they're larger. That's the one thing about like book of the month books. I love them, but they're so big. Like it's huge. Like not thickness wise, but just like, hardcover books are just larger in general. Which is, fine, great. We love them. But it's just a bit big. So I ended up also following in her footsteps, made the tag on my Libby with all of my TBR, like all my physical TBR books. And so one of the books on there was this one, The Teller of Small Fortunes. I've been wanting to read this book for a while, but I'm a huge mood reader. And so it's really hard to like, even if you really want to read a book, if you're like not in the mood for like that genre, then like you're not going to have a fun time, and so recently I'd been reading a lot of like mysteries and like thrillers. I read The Only One Left by Riley Sager, and then me and my mom read Wild Dark Shore by Charlotte McConaughey, and then we read Butter by Asako Yuzuki for our book club. And then the book that we are reading this month of July is Sunrise on the Reaping. And I was just like, whoa, we've read a lot of like really serious books, and Sunrise on the Reaping, as much as I do really want to read it and I'm thoroughly enjoying it right now, I know and knew that this book was going to be so heavy that I was like, I need something light and fun and cozy in between all of those things. And so this book was available on Libby. And so I actually read it on my e-reader, which was easier for me to do in between work and if I go to the gym, or, to be able to like read it on my phone if I needed to. It was just easier to like read it that way than carry around the physical book. And so it was slow going at first. I had a hard time, I think just because I had been reading more like mysteries and like having things that were a bit more fast paced. It was a little bit difficult to get into a cozy fantasy because they are slower. That first 50 pages was a little rough for me, but once that was in, I was like in it. I was locked in. It really felt like I was, to drop the book. It really felt like I was like in a D&D campaign. It was so fun. It was very much like a found family adventure book, and it was just great. It was a cozy read. I rated it like 4.25 stars on Storygraph. It was a fun read. I don't think I'd ever like read it again necessarily. I don't think there's anything that I feel like would like call me back to it necessarily. But it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, it was a little hard to get into at first. I think the world building took a second to like, I don't know, ramp up. But once it did, it was great and magical and wonderful. So I highly recommend it if you're looking for like a cozy fantasy read. But on the same like track of like reading physical books on like my TBR or whatever. One of the other books I saw that had come that was available on Libby was Graveyard Shift by ML Rio. This was a book that I again had on my physical TBR for like a long time. I bought it because it looked cool. Literally knew nothing else about it. I was like, that looks creepy. Gotta read it. Like even the back says rats, fungus, thrills, chills, mysteries. Like it just sounds great. Like that's a vibe. And so I picked it up. As much as this book is a novella, and as much as like a novella can also be considered microfiction, I feel like if you like novellas, this would probably not be the book for you. But if you like microfiction, then this is a book for you. For me, novellas still have kind of like a beginning, middle, and end, or like you kind of like, jump in the middle, but you kind of get this like resolution to the story, or you still get a point or a moral or, that kind of thing. Like if you've ever read like a short, like T. Kingfisher book, like the What Moves in the Dark or what's that book called? I don't know what that book is called right now. I know the sequel is right in front of me, and that's What Feasts at Night. But I can't think of the first book, but I loved it, and now I can't remember what it's called. I will put it up here when I remember, or what it is, because I can't remember. But if you like that style of like short, creepy books, I think you won't enjoy this book, this Graveyard Shift. It's only 100 pages, so like I wasn't gonna like DNF it, but like once I hit 50 pages, I was like, man, this book is not for me. I rated it 2.5 stars on Storygraph. I have a review up. You can go check that out. I'll have a link for my socials all below, but it was very much like a zoom in and zoom out type of thing, which to me is very much more of the whole microfiction, micro horror. Like you zoom in to all these people smoking in a graveyard, they stumble across a mystery, and then it like zooms out, and it kind of gets resolved. They kind of like get to the bottom of it, but that's like there's no like it's not that there's not a point, just like a snapshot of like events more than it is like a story, if that makes sense. So, and I think from pages like 1 to 50 and from pages like 75 to the end, it was just okay. That like middle 25 pages, like 50 to 75, where the like kind of like unraveling this like mystery or these questions that they have like really like picked up the pace, was great. I thought the way that you kind of got to zoom into each character's kind of like perspective and like their life, I thought was done really well. But ultimately, like I think the pacing just wasn't great, and it just felt incomplete. So I didn't really enjoy it. But like I said, if you like microfiction, micro horror, things like that, I would definitely recommend this. But if you're more of like a short story reader and you like kind of like a resolution and like a beginning, middle, and end, I probably wouldn't recommend this one. But I'm so glad I read it. I want to be able to read what I have on my shelves, or at least give it a solid try, So yeah. And then I mentioned what I'm currently reading, or at least what I'm currently like listening to on audiobook, is Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. It is the Haymitch prequel to the Hunger Games. I'm really enjoying it so far. I've already like cried once. The games haven't even started yet. So I can listen to audiobooks at work, which is really nice. So sometimes part of my days are that. But I think once I get to the games part of the book, I'm not going to be able to listen to it at work because I think I'll just keep crying through the rest of it. I think I'm like 40%. I'm 45. I'm almost at the 50% mark. We're almost at the games, so I'm probably going to have to like start just listening to it at home. But that's okay. I am really enjoying it though. So that's one of the books I'm currently, I guess, like reading slash listening to. The other thing I'm currently reading is Darker by Four by June C.L. Tan. I saw it on, I came across it on Instagram. I think it was one of those things where it was like, if you like K-pop Demon Hunter, the like Netflix show, it was like, you might like this book. And which I thought was so funny. That show kind of like blew up on my side of Instagram that I'm on in my like scrolling or whatever. Just because I'm a bit of a K-pop girly too. But yeah, so I thought it sounded interesting. I don't read a lot of young adult books anymore. Not that I'm like only read books for the smut and the cursing and like all this stuff. But I think sometimes young adult books now kind of like miss the mark for me on like just like what I'm looking for. Like they're not even like bad or I like don't enjoy them because they don't have those things, but sometimes I find myself I don't know, needing something a bit more. Sometimes the conflict isn't as mature as I'd like it to be, and it shouldn't be mature because it is a young adult story. Um, but sometimes it's just not what I'm looking for. But this one so far is going good. I like it. Like I said, I'm only like 30 pages in, so I can't really say much. If you've ever seen, I keep wanting to say Goblin's Wife, but that's not what it's called. Is it just called Goblin? What's it called? Wow, now that I'm like recording myself, I literally can't remember the name of anything. It's actually really embarrassing. I'll put it up here. But this K-drama, the beginning of this book kind of reminds me of that. And also, yes, if you watched K-pop Demon Hunters, you will probably also enjoy this book. I think it's doing a really great job so far of world building. I feel like I'm not like the author's done a really good job of like introducing characters and building the world at the same time, so I'm not feeling lost in any way. And I'm really looking forward to reading it. I'm hoping I can read it relatively quickly. It seems like it's going to be a quick read. So yeah, I'll keep you updated on that. But yeah, that's what I'm currently reading and what I have read this week. And yeah, that's probably going to be it for this video. But yeah, I've had a lot of fun making this video, filming this video. So if you stayed till the end and you checked this out, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Like I said, this is my first one and my first try, so hopefully you stick around and hopefully I keep doing what I'm doing because I really enjoy it. So yeah, don't forget to, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye. Nikiwa.